Chapter 13. Smoking Cigarette Butt Kicks. I was 12 years old during the summer of 1967, and I yearned for excitement. Life on the farm afforded little freedom, and like with most kids, sometimes the days passed with boredom. Kids do irrational things like their adult counterparts, but kids are forbidden to partake in activities that adults commonly engage in, like smoking. Watching my grandfather slowly succumb to the ill effects of smoking should have been sufficient for me to put off cigarettes. Not so. I noticed an abundance of discarded cigarette butts littering the ground outside Zeto's backyard. Especially fruitful was the area around the old wooden chair behind the shade of the house. In a truly contented state, Zeto could be found seated there, beer in hand, holding a cigarette, and occasionally spitting on the ground. The allure was too much for me to not attempt a secret trial cigarette butt relight. I collected a handful of cigarette butts along with a book of matches conveniently located in the ashtray of Zeto's old Pontiac. It was all part of my surreptitious plan for later that evening. It appears that I probably wasn't always the best influence on my younger siblings. That warm summer evening, I convinced my sister Mary to try smoking with me. The plan was for us to rendezvous at the granary shed just before nightfall. It was getting late, and the last vestiges of yellow sunlight seemed to augment a cacophony of crickets and other sounds of the night. It was the perfect time. Bedtime expectations still lingered for at least another 1/2 hour. Just before slinking outside, I peered around a corner and saw Mum in the front room on a couch laughing loudly to an episode of I Love Lucy. Tiptoeing, I headed to the granary shed. I was on schedule. Mary stood at the door like clockwork. She had trepidation in her eyes. Stepping inside, we were met with stark blackness. I could see through a crack of the poorly fitted wooden door. Seeing nothing, I was confident that we were out of sight. The coast was clear. The plan was perfect. I struck a match. The illumination was blinding. Our faces now revealed the detail of our sinful faces. The lighted cigarettes brought back the darkness except for 2 red glowing dots. Immediately the acrid smoke triggered uncontrollable simultaneous convulsions of coughing. Clearly, I thought, there must be some mistake about all enjoyment adults received from smoking and those endless TV cigarette commercials. What confusion. Mary lamented, "This tastes awful. I don't want any more." Just then, the shed door swung wide open with the force of an explosion. The open door revealed the most woefully terrifying sight that 2 young children could ever imagine. It was our mother. We were caught. We stood there stupefied and completely guilty, holding lighted cigarette butts. We stared speechless with visceral terror. Mum flew into rage. Her flailing arms looked like a malfunctioning windmill. She screamed incomprehensible Slovak. The cigarettes dislodged from our fingers and exploded into a dazzling array of red sparks. The frantic momentum of our rotating arms then seemed to increase while connecting with painful slaps all the way back to the house. Never did we attempt a stunt like that again. For Mary, I think my wiser older brother status diminished that night. We were, however, cured from smoking for years.